What's up, guys? Victor Bell. Welcome to the Bell Zone in my studio. Just wanted to do something for you guys. I thought this was going to be important. This is great. This is going to be great information for you guys, and I promise you it's going to help you. It's what I do. It's what I've always done. And let's face it, I've had to hurt my way up through the shit show to figure a lot of this stuff out. So I want to share it with you so you don't have to. All right. So today's video is how to work with the top brokers, like multifamily apartment building brokers in your area, in your market. This is what I do. This is what's always worked for me. And I tell you, if it changes, I'll change it with you and I'll change it for you. But for today, this is extremely vital. Matter of fact, I have a course on this thing. And you see that? This is the 7 vital targets that you got to keep in when you're working to any commercial guy whatsoever. And that's residential too, but primarily with multifamily apartment buildings, because they are extremely elusive guys. They have a very close-knit society amongst themselves. And trust me, if you don't do good, man, they will spread your name like the plague, like a venereal disease. No one will want to deal with you. So these are really simple, but when I say they're vital targets, the way that I'm going to teach my guys, the way that I'm going to teach everybody that works with me, my acquisition team, my capital people, everybody, that if we're dealing with anybody that's on a professional level, that's a mortgage guy or a broker for multifamily, this is vital to our operation. So, without further ado, here you go. Number 1, do what you say. As simple as that is, doing what you say is probably more important than actually closing the deal. Because if you don't do what you say, you will never get a deal, much less close one from these guys, because they're all looking, right? They're busy. Again, they're human beings. They're people just like me and you. But, man, let's face it. These guys got trust issues. So if you say you're going to call somebody back at 6 o'clock, call them at 6 o'clock. If you say you're going to be at the property or you've already went to the property, make sure that you went to the property. You're there early. Like if you're going to be there at 12, be there at 11:50, 11:45. Walk the property. Say, hey, I'm already here. Take your time if you're not. But I'm looking forward to this. Do what you say. Matter of fact, I want you to overpromise and overdeliver what you say you're going to do, because this, let's face it, dealing with brokers, man, it's a sale. You're calling them. I know you're trying to buy something, or just like when we deal with people, the first sale needs to be to these guys because they control the deal. And how do you sell somebody? First, you have to get them to trust you. The easiest way to get somebody to trust you is to constantly do what you say you're going to do. So if you get nothing else from this, that's the only one I want you to remember if you can't remember nothing else. Number 1, do what you say. Write that down. All right, so number 2, give clear criteria. So naturally, if you're going to talk to and or work with any top broker in your area as it relates to apartment buildings, they're going to say, hey, what are you looking for? Hey, we're looking for 80 to 120 units. Typically a 4 cap, a 4 1/4. If you're going to even mention a cap rate, I typically don't. I'll just say, hey, 80 to 20 units, and I'm more of a location player. Do you have anything like that? And they'll say yes or no. So, but that's clear. They know what I'm talking about. Hey, great location, 80 to 20 doors, 80 to 120 doors. That's this guy. This is going to be what we call a buy box, right? So you got to be clear on that, because they're going to test you, right? They're going to say, hey, I don't have an 80 unit, but I got this 40 unit. You want it? Yeah, I'll look at it. I'll take a look at it. But ultimately, my buy box, we're going to probably be more interested in about 80 to 120 doors. You got to be very clear on what your target is as you're dealing with these people. Super important, because again, do what you say. Second piece is be clear on what you say, because they're always looking, right? If you're going to work with a number 1 player or a top player, number 1 through 20 in the market, sometimes they're hard to get. They're hard to get, much less get them to call you back. All right, this is so important to everything that you're going to do. All right. Number 3, give clear feedback. Sometimes guys are going to send you something that, hey, they already sent it to the list. They're going to send it to you to find out, 1, if you're real, 2, if you're responsive. So when they send you something, you want to make sure, hey, I got it. I love it. This is exactly what I was looking for. But on this particular deal, not really a fan of the area. What do you think about the area? I love the area. I love what you sent. But the area, it's a little bit outside of what I'm looking for. Be clear, not in a negative, but in a very positive thing. 1, you need to celebrate the fact that they even sent you anything at all. Hey, thanks so much for that. I just got it. Thanks for your time on it. I really appreciate it. But you need to give clear feedback on what just happened, right? Super important. Do what you say. Be clear on what your criteria is, and then give clear feedback right away, right? Next, never. This is a cardinal sin. Like right away, never no show. Never no-show. I think some of the biggest fears that anybody has is like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to show up, or something came up. If you're going to not make it, you need to call people in advance right away and let them know, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. Something came up. And I'm not talking about the last minute. I'm talking about the day before, not even within an hour. Let them do that to you. Never do that to them. Show up early. Like I said, do what you say. Be clear on all these things and never no-show. Because, be honest with you, most brokers are not going to meet you at a property anyways. So when you say, hey, I'm going to book an appointment, I'm going to show up with these guys, be there. Be there before them. Let them know you're there, but never not no-show. Or if you're not going to make it, call them, let them know. Because the odds are they're probably not in the area. They're probably going to call and cancel on you if they're the top dogs. They're going to run around and show you a building. Like, as a matter of fact, the last thing they want to do is show the building again. So never no-show them. Always show up. All right, even if they're not gonna, they cancel on you. All right, so number five, you need to be a quick decision maker. You need to decide fast. You need to sell yourself on them and sell yourself to any person at the top. People at the top make very quick decisions. They'll make a decision and have to figure it out. I'd rather make a decision and then undo a decision based on circumstance, but I made the decision. I become known as what? A decision maker. Everyone wants to deal with a decision maker. If you're the top broker in a market and you control a lot of apartment complexes with some of the top owners there, you are also a decision maker. You are known to those people as having the ability to make decisions. So when you're dealing with a decision maker or an influencer, you have to be that as well. And that starts on phone calls. That starts with showing up, being on time. Yep, I can be there at that time. Yep, I'll move some stuff around. Don't worry. This is important to me. Like, you need to be that guy, and you need to be known as that. Sell yourself, because this is how you start getting the attention of some of the top players in your market. All right. Number 6, don't be greedy. Don't be like, oh, how much is that? What is this? How much is this going to cost? What were you thinking about the cost on this? Do you think that? Don't say none of that, right? This thing is not about money. If you're going to play this game the way that I'm telling you to play the game, to work with the top people aren't concerned about cost and being greedy and shaving points and coming down on this. And do you think I can get this for a little less? Like, as you're in a deal with anybody or in the beginning of your relationship, it is vital to not be greedy. Hey, I'll just pay for it. Don't worry about it. Hey, you know what? We can cover that cost. Hey, we didn't really budget for that cost, but now that I know about it, let me figure that out. Let me see if I can still make sense of the numbers. Like, don't become greedy. Don't say words that make you seem like you're trying to be a cheapskate. That's again, you want your name spread around like a venereal disease in any market. Be greedy and be cheap. Those are the two things. People be like, dude, that dude's a bottom feeder. Don't even talk to him. I hear it all the time from brokers. All right. So last but not least, number 7, follow up. Your follow-up game should be airtight. You should be a professional stalker in this business. Because let me tell you, if you constantly show up, call the guy, hey, I saw the property. Hey, I'm following up to make sure everything is good. Hey, is everything good? Hey, did you get my email? Send them a text message. Send them a video. Like, I'm constantly doing little things. I'm inviting them to Christmas parties, New Year's parties, events that I got, Zoom stuff, sending them cards. Like, I'm constantly in. My follow-up game is vicious with these guys. Why? Because I want them thinking about me when they get a deal. And if you don't do that, and somebody like me is, you won't work with a top broker. You'll work with a broker who's not busy, and you are his lifeline to succeeding. So now he's going to push you into something that may not be the best for you, and you won't know because you're hungry, right? So two people that are starving can't eat off the same plate. Someone has to be the decision maker, and in order for you to work with the top people to do that, you got to play the follow-up game and act hungry, be hungry on the premise that you want the deal, and you're showing him that you're worth him putting his time into because you are responsive. Super important, right? So I don't know why this should be taught in freaking school. This should be like, hey, as simple as this is, most people leave these parts out because they're relying on being smart. You don't have to be smart. You need to keep things extremely simple, and they need to be repeatable. But if you always do what you say, you're always clear with what you want, you're always clear on the feedback that you get, you always show up and you're on time, you don't waste anybody's time, and you continue to follow up with these people, man, these people have the keys to your wealth, to your financial freedom. This is what they do. So if you respect them, you bring them on as partners because they will be your partner. Like, you're not going to do real estate at a level that we're doing real estate at Bell Capital without a broker, without a professional to massage and grease the skids on the deal, right? To make introductions. We're doing it all the time. But this is exactly what I do. I teach this to all the people on my team. I teach this to any student that I've ever had, clients, right, who want to learn this game and do it themselves. Like, I share this information because I want you to know exactly what I'm doing and what's worked for me over the last 20 years. Doesn't matter if it's a big deal, small deal. These things are vital targets for you to keep in every action for you to succeed in this thing. I love it. All right, so I talk fast. I got it. There's a reason why I'm talking fast with you. Because one, I want to keep this short. Two, if you're going to be successful, you need to be a person that can walk fast, talk fast, make quick decisions, listen quickly. Take out what you need. You don't need all 7. You need 1. You need 2 that you can execute on today if you're talking to somebody. Just keep it in mind and use it as your stable piece of information to lean on, right? So it's super important that you do that. But I wanted to share this with you today. I think this is important because I just got off a webinar and we were talking about how to find deals. But if you can't keep these simple targets in, then it doesn't matter how many deals you find. This goes with brokers, top brokers. This goes with owners. This goes with buyers. This goes with everybody. This is how you communicate effectively with people to get what you want, all right? You have to sell yourself. These 7 targets for you to keep in will definitely sell you on the right person as a top player and decision maker to them, and then you give them the respect of being the top people in their industry as well, and people will definitely respect you for that. All right, so again, this is Victor Bell saying, hey, make sure that you keep wealth and you make wealth your duty. Wealth is my duty. I owe it to myself, my family, all the people I care about, and the people, my investors, and people who are going to work with me in the future to make sure that I keep that on the forefront. It is what it is. It's an ethical responsibility for me. So continue to watch, continue to join, like this, share this, comment on this if you like. If you hate it, do that too, man. Thumbs down it. Leave me a negative comment. Don't be a hater and a hider. Do both, all right? So they all matter to me. Like I said, I love it. If you need anything, feel free to reach out. Definitely go to bell-capital.com, or you can go to victorbell.com, reach out to me, myself, or somebody on my team will reach out to you. Probably going to be me. But I'm going to answer you fast. If you need anything at all, let me know. And if you want to be a part of what we're doing over here at Bell Capital, boom, reach out to us too. We'd love to have you on as an investor. We got some big things in the works, and I want to make sure to share that information with you. All right, so you guys have a great day today. Wealth is your duty. Make it a good one.